Hello all, welcome to another session on Docker. We'll be going through not networking in this session. We'll have an in-depth study about networking in Kubernetes series. But as you would be hearing a lot of terminologies like Docker bridge or bridge drivers, bridge networks or overlay drivers, overlay networks. Basically, bridge network or bridge driver is the default network driver in Docker, whereas overlay networks or overlay drivers connect multiple Docker daemons together and enable swarm services to communicate with each other. So what you might ask, what are swarm services or what is or Docker Swarm or Docker Swarm? Well, basically these are Docker orchestration tools. But I personally prefer Kubernetes. Anyway, we'll have an overview about networking here and how networking is done in Docker. So well, Docker does take care of all the networking aspects so that the containers can communicate with each other and also with the Docker host. So if we do I, if config, so if you do if config, you'll get to know what is the IP address of your Docker. So here 172.17.0.1 is my IP address of the Docker, which is running here. Right, but you might most of the people who are using newest versions of Linux distribution might not get the output of this ifconfig command because this command is not pre-installed. If you get any error like ifconfig command not found as such, so you need to run one command is install net tools. Okay, you can run this command and this command will install this specific this command ipconfig to your system. As I already have it, it says I am already on the newest version, so it's fine. You this command will work in on Ubuntu, Debian, and related Linux distributions. Whereas if you want to run this in CentOS, you need to run yum install nettools. Okay, so yeah, that's about ifconfig. Now let's quickly try to jump on network and how network is important, why network is actually important, and how in practical application the network comes into to play. So let's quickly see first the different commands Docker network has. So Docker network connect, Docker network create, disconnect, inspect, ls, prune, rm. Everyone, most of the people would be knowing about what these are. Okay, so uh, let's try to use the first command Docker network ls. So Docker bridge bridge this is the basic default driver. If you're not connecting, if you're not explicitly giving any of the networks to when you are trying to bring up container, bridge will be which will be the network on which that specific or all those containers will be mapped. So basically bridge driver creates a private network internally to the host, so containers on this network can communicate. Let's try to quickly see in practical how this actually works. So we'll try to bring up two alpine daemons, two alpine containers. Okay, so you see the two alpine containers are up and running with these two names. Now let's try to inspect these and see on which network mode it is mounted. So you will see that in network mode default, which is our bridge, it is mounted. This specific this specific container is mounted on default network mode, which is our driver. Okay, so if you try to inspect bridge, you should see the container mounted. So in here you will see that these both of the container, Bol Lumiere and Awesome Heisenberg, these both of the containers are mounted on this bridge because both were run without without giving any explicit network. So they were mounted on default driver, which is our bridge driver, and you see these two are already in network. So what is the benefit of being in network? S- Let's see it. Docker exec IT120 bin sh. Oh, wait. Before that, we need to know what is the IP address of these two containers. So we will quickly 120 grep IP address. Okay, so this is the IP address of first container, and this is the IP address of second container. So now I will directly enter 120. Let's try to ping. I'm in 120. Let's try to ping this container. If they are in network, it should respond. So you see, we are trying to ping the machine, this container, and it is returning. That means these two are communicating with each other. You, the only problem here is you cannot give the name. For example, here it's awesome Heisenberg. It won't return, it will get stuck. Okay, because we are using default driver, so there is no mapping between the name and the network. But let's try to create our own network. So for that, we would use this command create network driver new network test. Oh, sorry. So I forgot to write this. Okay, so this is the command. You can use either driver or you can also do this. Both will work fine. Okay, so this is the standard format. You need to write docker network create, then the docker bridge, and then the name of the network. So this network should have been created. You see, new network test is created. Now what we'll do is we'll try to again spin two more containers, but these two containers will be mapped to our own network, which we have created here. So what we'll do is we'll try to bring two containers of Ubuntu. Okay, and I'll give here name as network 1. Okay, and also I'll give the network name as new network test. Then I'll bring Ubuntu bin bash. Okay, so first container is up and running fine. Let's try to bring another container. We are mapping to the same network and we are bringing the same instance of Ubuntu. So you see the two containers are up and running fine, 1 and 2. The only difference between Alpine, these two are containers of Alpine and these two containers of Ubuntu is that these two are mapped to our own customized or our own private networks, while these two are mapped on network which is default driver or default network. Let's quickly see, try to inspect B8E grep network. You see network mode now is new network test. Similarly, it should be same for this. You see both are mounted on new network test. And if we try to inspect new network test, you see network 1, network 2. So we have created a new network, our own private network, and we have also connected those two container on this network. Now what is the new feature that we have, which we were not having in the default driver, is this docker ps docker. I will try to execute it dash d, no, not the it, then b8e bin bash. Okay, so now I'm inside the docker container, but I doubt here the ping would work. Sorry, ping. So ping is not available right now, so we need to install ping. Uh, Wait 1 second. Okay, so we are inside the Ubuntu container, but we need to see if ping is installed or not. So which ping? We don't really see that the ping is already installed in this container. So for that, before to install ping inside Ubuntu, we need to first quickly update. Okay, so this will update and try to fetch all the. And basically we okay, so we are inside the container of our Ubuntu. Now let's okay, so we are inside the container of Ubuntu, but I doubt ping would be pre-installed in this. Okay, so we don't have ping pre-installed in this on this machine. So in order to install ping, we have to run this. Uh, I utils. Okay, so we have to do two steps. In two steps, we have to install this ping. One first was apt get update, and the second command was, as you saw, apt get update, and second command was apt get install iputils ping. Okay, so these two commands needs to be used in order to install ping. And now we see, if we go which ping, the ping is installed in our machine. Now we need to, we are inside network 1. We want to ping network 2. You see, so now even if without giving the IP address, I can ping using the name itself. Okay, that is the benefit of using your customize your own private network over the default driver bridge network. So yeah, that's how network works. You can mount n number of containers on one single network, and they will be able to communicate with each other. Could be, for example, let's consider this. Okay, for example, this is an example where we have a DB container and we have a web container, and they are connected with bridge, and also they this entire network is exposed to external network with on port 8000. So now whatever, for example, if I am on web and I'm trying to uh, if I want to save anything in database, because of them being on the same network, whatever from the user on web tries to save, it will be persisted in database, because they can communicate with each other because of my bridge network. So that's the importance, and that's how you can use network in order to communicate between two containers.